Hey guys, happy to be here for this week's little Oxen Labs update. This week I have a few interesting statistics for you because I realize I've been basically going through the same session update for the last couple of months because we've been working on the same thing, which is user configuration message management. But this week I wanted to tell you the size of each individual pull request has grown to. And this is not actually necessarily a good thing because they should be much smaller than this and more bite-sized up into chunks. But Android is 6,300 additional lines of code and 744 subtractions or deletions. iOS is 30,000 lines of code added, 15,000 removed, and desktop is 14,000 added and 8,000 removed. So we are doing a lot of work right now, basically, on the user config stuff. Some of the iOS work has been taking out this thing called Promise Kit as well, which we're refactoring out of the code base to rely on some more native iOS promise resolution stuff. So we're working on that as well. So it's not necessarily all strictly user config stuff, but the addition of libsession has meant a lot of lines of code going in, and we're using a lot of different techniques, which is why if removed and added so much code in these. We actually want to try to break down these releases into smaller releases in the future. So we're looking at closed groups right now and how to break that up into smaller deliverables, because having projects that go over 12 weeks it's hard to manage, and it's also doesn't look good from a community perspective because we're not putting up releases as often. So I know at least with the user config one, we could have broken it into multiple smaller releases, and that's in retrospect. So we're going to try and move that strategy going forward. But we are doing a lot of work. So that's my update this week. Hopefully a little less wishy-washy on the session side of things. We're also working on disappearing messages, and there's a few point releases that are coming out soon on Android and iOS. Basically changing conversation swipe actions and also the way that timestamps work on Android. Not the display of timestamps, just how we timestamp messages right now to make them more accurate, so messages don't appear above ones that were sent beforehand. Weird ordering can go on there. Anyway, that session. On Lokinet, we have continued working on liblokinet. Did some really interesting testing this week between liblokinet and onion requests. Liblokinet is still a little bit behind where onion requests are right now. We know it can be better than onion requests because we know that Lokinet is better than onion requests in terms of performance, speed, reliability. But we're just trying to get liblokinet to that point where it's at the Lokinet level and potentially even beyond that as well. So there's a few pointers that we found out as we were working through that testing. Particularly, we seem to be rebuilding a path every time with liblokinet instead of preserving paths that we built beforehand, which has a performance impact. So we'll be looking at that this week. But yeah, Dan's really killing it, doing a lot of work on liblokinet, and got Jeff doing the refactor as well. Yeah, cool. And then core. We have progressed past ONS registrations, which I was talking about last week. And we are basically now on to service node registration, staking, and unstaking. So staking got finished this week, I think, or last week, potentially. Now we're getting into registrations, and then we'll be looking at unstaking. We're also looking at threading for Wallet 3, which essentially it's running single-threaded right now, which has some negative performance impacts. And Sean has done like a mock implementation of multi-threading, which has increased performance 4 or 5x, and that's just like the mock implementation. So we're looking to get that in soon after we do staking and registrations, and try and get the wallet performance to be at or beyond the level of Wallet 2. So that's really important for us. Yeah, I think that's all the distinct projects. We've done a little bit of work's happening on the push notification server. Jason's still working on that, and then there's a little bit of work happening on libsession as well, as we include more stuff there for the user config stuff. But yeah, I think that wraps us out. Thanks, Jess. I'll send it over to Josh.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another weekly Oxen Labs here at Oxen HQ. This week, it's all video, baby. Just tons and tons of video stuff. So last week, We had Alex and Chris on a live AMA community stream that we did. To be honest, it wasn't our best work. We were ravaged by internet issues here, and I think just the internet issues threw some people off. We eventually got it working in the end, but we definitely had better AMAs, and as a result, we have scheduled in to do another AMA as well, so round 2. And by the time you guys hear these sultry tones, we've probably already done it. So that should be, if we have done it, we can link it in the description. But yeah, that's all good. That's something that we did. Also on top of that, we dropped 4 new Oxen 101 videos. So we had one on Blink, LokiNet, ONS, and service nodes were what they were covering. Also, still on the video route, because it was big for video, we had big man Jason in the house here in Melbourne at Oxen HQ, and so while we had him here, we took the opportunity to get him on camera as well and do a video with him. And again, by the time you're hearing this, that's probably already dropped, so we can drop a link to that in the description. On top of that, we also listened to your guys' feedback as well when it comes to when we talked about reviving the Oxen Nights, you know, the new and improved Oxen Nights. We heard your guys' hesitations around that, we've listened, and so we're going to keep them laid to rest for now. But we still do want to engage with the community and work with you guys a lot more. So we've had a lot of meetings this week to figure out the best ways that we can do that, and we've got some ideas that we're kicking around. And so we're just going to work on the finer details of that, and when we think we've got something a bit more concrete, we'll bring that to you guys and get another round of feedback from you. Also, we've been wrapping up for Q1. It's kind of done. So we've been looking at basically, you know, taking stock of what we've done, like what went well, what we need to improve on, and actually all the systems and processes, the new systems and processes that we put in place at the end of last year and the beginning of this quarter actually have made that a lot easier for us to do. They've already paid for themselves, really. So it's a lot easier to see what went well and what didn't work, and so we can take that information going into Q2 and work out strategies and better improve on certain things. So that's something that we've been doing this week as well. And also, finally, we updated the OPTF website, the boards page, to reflect all the changes that the new changes that have happened in the AGM that happened last Thursday. We had an annual general meeting of the foundation, so that should be all up to date, and we're going to put together a summary that kind of just wraps up how that meeting went to keep you all in the loop about that as well. So that's it for this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Hiya.